This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought another fantastic group of independent comic book publishers. Please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in this guy.
What's up, baby? What's doing? You know, I usually come in with a nice, snappy intro. I wanted to be nice, smooth, suave. You know what I mean? I didn't want to take any spotlight from anybody. I want to steal your shine. You know? What's up, Streamland?
I was going to bring in Marcus because you're done.
You know, you don't know what to expect from me. You gotta give me, you gotta give me my moment here, bro. Fuck it. We got Marcus in here. Marcus, what's up, baby?
What's up, JD? It's nice of you to actually be able to join us this time. Without any sort of computer delays or anything. You look at Chris today. Did you get a new cam?
Shit. No, I just
that is hilarious.
Wait, you didn't boot him?
No. That is hilarious. I wish I could show the screen where it says device disconnected.
There is entire shutdown of California right now since the 49ers are getting beat by the Lions. They're just, the entire state is just collapsing up on itself.
That was amazing. That was straight amazing. I can't follow that. How do I follow that? You know. Yeah, it's me again. I'm back. I had to bully my way in. Tom Hodgson, Big Dog Inc. Critter is still alive. I just got 2 new backers. So if it's you, thank you. I don't know. That's it. We got about 4 hours left on the campaign, and we'll talk about it later.
Nice.
Marcus, how you doing?
Look, we're going to try this again, man. Couldn't be more perfect, but you know what? That's karma for me.
That was karma.
I've been giving them shit the last few times I was on, so that's finally the universe corrected me.
Marcus, are you wearing a 49ers button-down shirt right now?
Oh, God, no. Unfortunately, I grew up a Bears fan, so that killed any actual love and appreciation I could have for the game of football.
It's Redbirds. It's a Cardinals. He's a Cardinals
yes.
guy.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. So you carried over hometown love. Way to be, man. Way to be.
But for anyone that doesn't know me, Marcus McNeal, editor-in-chief of Odyssey Comics, publisher of such great fine titles as Fantastic #1 on Kickstarter right now. We'll talk about that more later.
All right, cool. What's up, Aaron? How you doing?
Good. I'm just here because Tom's here.
Oh, nice.
See, I bring all the boys to the yard. That's how it works.
No, my name is Aaron. I run Catalyst Comic Studio. Current thing going on is Fall of Night, which is on Kickstarter right now. We still have a little over a week, and when I just looked a little while ago, we're like $47 away from funding, so we're real freaking close.
Nice.
Very nice.
Cool. And we have Roy. What's up, Roy?
Hey, thanks, guys.
You made it into the driveway safe. I'm happy.
Yeah, way to be, Roy.
Look, I'm actually at a Hardee's right off of I-75.
That's funny.
That's what we call dedication.
But what do you order, though?
Nothing yet, because I don't want to get into the Hardee's burger while I'm on the air with you guys.
That should be, man. Maybe we get some sponsorship for JD.
That's right.
Great product
There you go.
Where are you at, Roy?
I am actually in Lake City, Florida right now.
Florida? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just coming from Orlando. We were participating in a festival down there called the Zora Neale Hurston Festival. Just doing some stuff. I actually lived in the little town that it's in. It's a town called Eatonville. The historic town of Eatonville, as we like to say. It's the oldest incorporated Black municipality in the country.
Oh, nice.
So it was the first place that after slavery that African Americans actually had their own governing space and everything. So
very cool. What year was this?
1887.
Oh, way to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're from there, or you lived there for a little while?
No. I lived there for like 15 years. I'm originally from South Florida. I grew up in Palm Beach, but I graduated high school out of Miami.
Okay. Cool. Nice. Yeah, we don't have any Hardee's up here in New York. So I'm a little jealous.
No, you guys, what's the other one? Do you guys have
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. Yeah, that's it.
No.
They don't do that up there either, I don't think.
No.
Oh,
I've
wow,
never seen a
okay.
Carl's Jr. in New York. No. No, I'm a burger smith. You know what I'm saying, man? I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll travel. I'll move. No, we don't got that. We don't got that. The only time I've ever had Jack in a Box was in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. No Carl's Jr., no Hardee's. We got Checkers. We just got Sonic.
All right.
We got
Okay.
5 guys. 5 guys.
We got Five Guys.
Guys is
Five Guys
good.
not bad.
Okay, there you go.
It's
Yeah, Five
expensive.
Guys is good as long as you don't have to refinance your house to get any.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying, bro?
They are some expensive burgers.
I swear that's not me.
Welcome our new
timing.
sponsor, Five Guys.
Timing is unbelievable.
Wow. That is hilarious.
I'm
Anyway,
so sorry, Marcus, but it's fucking funny. It's da 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 da. That'll be a running gag all night tonight.
that's crazy. Anyway, so all right, gentlemen, let's start this show. Marcus will be. I'm sure he'll pop back in a minute after he's rebooted his server. So, gentlemen, the show question. So I ask these. I always come up with these questions. The question is, what's holding you back in Indie Comics? Who's to blame? Right now, that's not the real question. Because, to be honest, let's all be honest. Right, when we ask someone who's to blame, it's usually the person.
I
looking
always
back
say
at you in the
JD.
mirror.
I always
Right.
say JD.
Well, yeah, typically.
Well,
yeah,
that
typically,
JD, the fake JD, the real JD that can't use his name.
Yeah.
But
But
hey, welcome our newest guest of the evening.
I'm like Nightcrawler right now, man. I'm just teleporting in and out.
You should have reintroduced yourself.
yeah. So to get back to the question is so who's to blame, right? So typically it's ourselves. Now the real question is not so much who's to blame, but is what are you doing to get yourself out of what's holding you back, right? What are you doing? What are you looking to do to get yourself out of that hole? Whatever it is that's holding you back. You understand? Because to be honest with ourselves, we all have something that's holding us back. Some people it is some outside force, whatever it is. But for most of us, it's the guy looking at the mirror back at us, right? So what is that? And so let's start with Tom.
Well, Tom, before you answer, I want to call a TV timeout here for a second. And
Whatever.
you said my questions from last night were hard. I don't even know what the fucking question is over here. You gave a thesis.
Okay.
The
All right,
question, the
Zero it
question,
down,
Jay.
bro.
All right,
Let me simplify the question.
go ahead,
Jay.
please,
Jay.
Tom.
Yes.
Why do you suck so much at what you do?
That's what I heard.
That's the question.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why are you stupid? Why are you stupid? It's going to be the
There you go.
There we go.
Exactly.
There we go.
I was trying to be polite.
Simple.
Jay, you don't have to go first either, so you just wait for Tom, and then you'd be like, I think Tom really hit it on the head.
Yeah. So let me tell you why Jay's terrible at what he does. What I think is no. So this is kind of an easy answer for me because I've been sitting on this, knowing where I am for a while. Some of this came about because COVID sort of slowed me down and so on, and I've kind of had to rebuild to kind of get back to a point where I'm at. But for me, it's because I do everything myself. Like quite literally, I don't draw the books or anything, but as far as Big Dog Inc., I write the books, I build the Kickstarters, I do all the social media, I package all the packages, I do all the live sales shows that we do. Like everything is on me. So the thing that's holding me back is just the expanded infrastructure that I would need to take some of the sort of stuff that anyone can do if they're the right person. Because I'm the one that has to write the stuff. So if I'm packaging packages, I can't be writing. If I'm building the Kickstarter, I can't be writing. If I'm doing the live show, I can't be packaging. Like it's just too much for one person. And so that's really slowed me down. And we were at a point where we were kind of really growing quite a bit through kind of 2020. And then, that's when COVID kind of came in. And that's when I was really at a point where I was like, I'm going to start hiring somebody to help me do this stuff. And then they were like, nope, nobody gets to go anywhere. You can't go into people's houses. You can't, everything just went down. And then, it took a couple of years for us to kind of really fix that problem. And so that's kind of where we are now. And I'm right at the cusp of, okay, look, I'm doing a lot of Kickstarters this year. I'm going to need somebody to come in, even if it's just part-time, come in, help me shipping for 2 weeks. And then I'll see you again in 3 weeks. And we'll do it again. just to like knock it out. And that'll free me up to be to do more of the creative, to do more of these types of live shows, to kind of do the marketing side of things. So that's it for me. It's the infrastructure, and then once that's in place, then it's heavy focus on, for me, heavy focus on the writing of stuff, because I don't want any of my artists or anybody waiting on me to finish a script. Like if they're ready to go, they need to have what they need and go. Mm-hmm. So, as I'm dicking around with all this other stuff, the writing slows down. So I think it all kind of works together. And if I can build that sort of labor infrastructure, and potentially even a social media infrastructure where somebody's sort of in charge of it, that'll let me kind of explode in the creative sense of things and really drive all of that forward. And that'll change the game for us completely.
All right, cool. Aaron, what are your thoughts?
I think Tom really hit the nail on the head. No, for real though. I had a lot of outside stuff that happened over the course of last year and a little bit of the year before that.
Shower is ready. Please proceed to shower 4.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. He's at Hardee's. Anyway, so basically I had a bunch of personal stuff that happened during last year and a little bit of the year before, and that kind of just pulled me completely out of the scene. So now I'm kind of back in the whole like restructuring and like rebuilding. And in a similar vein, like I know that to continue to move forward, I have to delegate some tasks so that I can continue to be creative and focus on that, and doing stuff like this, because I really hadn't done it much over the last year and a half, and I miss like talking to people, getting to know new people. Like I don't know just about anybody in here. I talked to Tom like one time on a different show, so like there's a lot that's happened over my time in indie comics, but there's still a whole lot of people that I haven't talked to or met yet.
That's cool. Look, you don't really want to talk to Jay, but Roy. Roy, so what are your thoughts on it? I'm only joking. Jay's all right sometimes.
Honestly, I'm gonna actually agree with Tom. I think with everything I do, we call it human capital. It's just having people to take stuff off of your plate, because when you are, especially like with him writing, doing all of that stuff, when you have to do all of the other minutia and all of the other little pieces that are important, and that just, it sucks, because something is, like you said, something's going to be out. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with that the human capital piece is always the hardest thing. If you can get people who believe in what you're doing and are willing to work to help build it, and as I like to say, we look for hunters and farmers. We all kill what we eat, and we eat together, and that's just kind of how it goes. But that's the hardest thing, I think, is the human capital and people to make sure, because it ultimately burns you out. Trust me, I know. With moving around and just being all around the place all the time, it gets tiring when you have to do all of that stuff. And sometimes you got to figure out how, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And of course, when you take a break, everything stops, which goes more back to the point. So.
Yeah, and like you actually pointed out, is you got to find the people. It's not just hiring a guy; it's hiring a guy that wants to be there and is engaged in what you're doing. And if he's packaging, he's got to know how to package the stuff properly. And because if it screws up, he's not going to catch the blame. We're going to catch the blame. Right. Why is Tom's stuff suddenly crappy? So yeah.
All right, cool. Marcus, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a motif for tonight. I closed out some other applications, so let's hope.
Gotcha. All right. So, sir, what do you think about the question? Or what are your thoughts?
My answer is time. Time is the giver, and time is the taker too. Much like what Tom was saying, indie comics, we run pretty lean. I do a lot. We now have some help with our creative director Aaron and our lead editor Steve now aboard to take some of the creative things off my shoulders, because thankfully, due to the people that I know and the talent that we have, it's a lot easier to move some of those creative things than move some of those business things. And much to what Tom was saying, I've tried bringing in more people, because I'm still doing all the graphic design. I format all the books. I'm shipping everything. I'm up until, we had a dedicated team, I was doing editorial and everything. And you guys know how much we put out, how much we usually have in the process. So yeah, taking time to ship stuff. I can't be making comics. I don't get to go to cons a lot because there's something that always needs to be done. There's another campaign I have to prep. And if I just had more time in the schedule, I think, man, if I'm dedicating, pretty much all my free time to what I'm doing, but if I didn't have to drag myself into a job every day, like what would I be able to do? What would I be able to accomplish? We did so much just 2 years in. What will it look like in 4 years, 6 years? But trying to wrestle that back and knowing that right now, maybe on the business side of things, I'm not going to get the help that I need just because it is hard finding the right people. Things move fast, or at least on my side, they move really, really quickly. And having people that can keep up with the pace and not be a hindrance. And most importantly, if I can just shut my mouth and do it myself and get it done quicker than having to bug someone else, that's usually what I tend to do. So if I could just find a way to make things a little bit more cost and time productive on that side, like when it comes to the shipping and it comes to all the superlative stuff, then just getting that back would be able to pretty much solve any of the issues that I see for us in comics right now by just having the time to dedicate to it and research and develop the way that I really want to. I think that I'm capable.
He's capable. Okay.
Yeah,
that's it. Right? We're capable. That was very good. Thank you, Mark.
There you go. He'll be back in a couple of minutes.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm agreeing with everyone here, but I want to add what's important for me, I guess, and that's security. And independent comic books do not have medical. They don't have dental. I need a day job to cover that stuff. I wish I can say, yes, this is doing everything for me. Yes, this is keeping the lights on. Yes, this is keeping us protected. But I have found some way, by hook or by crook, to balance, both sides of my life and try to make a marriage work, right? Because that's not easy either. If I had that security locked in, right? I've said this before. I'm 5 years away from retirement. I've hated the day job every goddamn fucking day I've been doing it. I have. And sometimes when I get pissed off at what's happening in comic books, right, I deflect and I place that on the day job. I'm like, if it wasn't for this, right? If it wasn't for the day job, I could do every other convention that I wanted to do. But I got to use, vacation days for this and target this and make sure I save vacation days for the family. Sounds weird, I know. But you guys are taking some of the good answers. So let me add some seasoning into the pot, right? Security. I don't have the fucking balls that Tom does to do this full time. God bless you.
You also don't have his lake.
Well, that's why. You know what I mean? That's his passive income. He rents out, stuff people to use his lake and shit. So that's where
take him out on the boat with fishing. It's good.
Good.
But that's it for me. I mean, we gotta be real here for a second. Or I gotta be real here for a second. Excuse me. I'd love to say, like I said, this is a full-time business, but I can't. Right. So all the infrastructure, all of that stuff. Yes, it is important. But for me right now, the thing that's holding me back is the need to have the house secure, the home secure before I can chase down my passions and my dreams.
All right. Cool. Marcus, you've materialized again from the ether.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got a new webcam and it keeps disconnecting. And every time it disconnects, it drops me out of the show. So I'm here. I see everybody. I'm active. Technology be damned. I don't know.
Were you done with your answer? Or did you have something to add?
Previously, no. Actually, I cut out right on time. I was done.
Okay. Cool. All right, cool. For myself, it's funny. Like my last 3 campaigns, I've been doing something very low key. I've been doing my damnedest to do as little advertising and promotion for them as possible. Okay, that's what I've done literally for my last 3 campaigns, just to see how they do. I will put out one newsletter here, one newsletter there, very slowly, do very little posting online. I haven't done any other shows except this one in a minute. I maybe have done Daphne's. That's my wife. I might do her show once in a while. But
what about me? You did my show. You've been doing my show.
Your show only counts because you only do your show when your campaigns are running. So
yeah.
You know, you know, that's the only time you do your shows. So it's just like it doesn't really count. You know? Well, it doesn't count because it's not consistent enough for you to build up any type of real audience.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
that's true.
We're gonna be honest about it, right?
That's true.
But you know, so what I'm gonna do is for the next 3 campaigns after this one, I'm gonna go hard into the paint. I'm gonna start doing more shows.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And I just want to see the difference.
Don't do that.
Why not? I just want to see why not? Why shouldn't I do that?
Because I did exactly what you're talking about. I stopped doing a lot of stuff. I'm like, what happens if I do bare minimum?
Right.
And it was fine. It was fine. And then when I started to be like, okay, let me start doing a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, didn't change anything. So my advice here is not to not go do what you want to do. I'm not telling everybody don't do shows and don't do stuff, but
no, of course not. Yeah.
Understand that unless you're moving into a space that is a significant difference from where you normally are, you're going on to, let's say you go on to like Billy Tucci's show or something, somewhere where you've never been, somewhere that has an audience that doesn't know who you are, and you're truly being like exposed to a new audience. Right. The results of it are going to be minimal, right? Not to say that it's not good to do it. You're going to find some people, but the results are minimal. So it's always ROI. Right? Return on investment. Your investment here is your time, your energy, your mental space, et cetera, et cetera. So I have seen so many people over the last few years just diving into live shows everywhere, whether it's their own, creating their own type of thing, whether they're going to other shows. I'm just like, and I'm watching their campaigns and like, nothing's happening, man. Like it's always the same. I feel like there's a window that we've all kind of, we've hit that glass ceiling. Right. So again, unless you can get Todd McFarlane to talk about you, unless you can get somebody at a really high level to say, JD is awesome, go get Oswald Chronicles, just temper your time and energy and expectations of all of that, because I've done it and I've seen the results. Now, everybody's results are going to be different. Of course, everything is personal experience, but I've done this over the last like 4 or 5 years to kind of see what the results are. And it's just kind of, there's no change, whether I'm doing the moderate or the sort of extreme. People want what they want. They know what they want. There's a lot of people that, for me, because I have so many different books, right? So I have a lot of people that are crossovers, whether I do Critter or Pennies for Your Soul or whatever. But there are some people that only buy when I do Oz, and that is all they want. And I cannot do anything to change that. There are some people that only buy for me if a specific artist is on a campaign, and I can't do anything about that. Like if I don't have Bill McKay, they're not interested. And I can't change their minds on that. So it's all sort of energy ROI. Just don't kill yourself chasing. Oh no, it, I guess is the point I'm trying to give everybody.
Yeah. No. What I'm going to do is ramp it up slowly. I'll go up 10%, 15%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then do it like that. But Daphne, she points out the fact that she's been on vacation for the last 3 weeks, and she's saying that's why I didn't do it.
My only semi counter to that is like pretty much what I said earlier, which was I'm still getting to meet new people doing these. So I like that's the kind of approach I'm trying to take to it now, is like, let me go have some fun with some people that I don't know yet. Who knows? Like this time around, I've made friends that are probably going to be friends for a while from different shows that I've done. But like, I'm not going into it with like, my goal is to get $500 on this live stream, but I agree. Like it's not worth, I haven't seen the return, and I've done campaigns where I did a whole lot. And then I've had some where, like this one, I kind of waited until the campaign was already going before I even started asking to go on shows.
Well, Aaron,
yeah, that's
listen,
a great point. The interaction with people, you know, that is a key thing, and that can take you further down the road in the business sense of it, but not necessarily in the actual backer count aspect.
Yeah.
Roy wanted to chime in on something.
Yeah, actually, what you just said, Tom, is where I was going to go with it. Besides the con stuff that I do, I'm also in the broadcast business. And talking to advertisers and companies that deal with things, we've been kind of lucky and blessed in our situation that we have a very specific niche market. And they say because they don't deal with, like, actual advertising companies don't deal with influencers because it's easy for somebody to follow you. And so I think Aaron made a great point. Doing these things is getting people to know who you are. Because if they don't just like what you have, people buy because they have an affinity to something. And you build that by going on these programs and doing it, not going on them to say, hey, I have a Kickstarter, do this. Because then you're going to sound like a salesman a lot of time. And people are going to be like, oh, here's another one. Yeah, we had 300 Kickstarters last month, you know, and they donate to one. The guy that they saw that, hey, I like the book. I like the cover. I like the artist that was on it. You know, it's they're going to do those things. So it's the hardest part of it is making sure that not that you have hundreds of thousands of followers, but you have loyal guys or girls who will become customers who act. What we do is we call it activation. So we've been live streaming for over 20 years. Like pre-YouTube, and we don't have 50,000 subscribers and followers, but out of the 25 that we do, if we say, hey, we need you to do something, you're going to get at least 5,000 to 7,000 people who are going to move and make those purchases, support those businesses and things like that. So I found that's a huge thing in this comic. I used to publish my comic book years ago. We still have people asking about it who were at the beginning of our process.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah. But Aaron, I was going to tell you that, you know, from the next show you do, Tom will probably show up, so you're stuck with him.
Never ends. Tom, are you going on Carissa's tomorrow again?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I'm bringing Kylo Ren with me.
Yeah. Bring the Starbucks cup with me.
Jay, you're up.
All right. So with all of this, you know, security and time and infrastructure and struggles with being a comic book creator, why the hell are we still doing this? What makes us come back?
Fair. Aaron, you're up.
Writing obsession. I'm going to be writing some form. I don't only write in the comic book format. I also do some prose stuff and, you know, songs and all that. But, you know, comic books has been with me since I was a kid, so I don't see myself stopping that. And, you know, even when a book doesn't do as good as I think it should, I'm just going to keep doing it anyway because it's either spend my money on getting these comics made or spend it on stupid stuff. So.
All right, cool.
Okay, good.
Roy, what are your thoughts?
This stuff isn't work, dude. It's like, you know, I've had actual jobs, you know, as Jay would say, you know, it's frustrating. You're getting up and you're looking at the clock. And you're like, okay, exactly how long can I stay in the bed before I have to get up and move to get to work on time and spend as little time with these people as possible? Whereas we would start a brainstorming session and the character development session, an hour session that was scheduled starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we look up and it's 5 p.m. and we're like, did we just really spend all that time talking about 2 different characters and building their background and having so much fun that we didn't eat and anything? Yes, because this, I mean, when you do, as the old adage, I know it's cliche as all get out, but when you do something you love, man, it's never work. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that was like my Mondays was always my favorite day with me and my comic book partner. It's just like, dude, let's just sit and think of every crazy idea that we've ever thought of and see how we can integrate it. And so, yeah, stuff is amazing. It's keeping your imagination fresh, and it's greatest.
All right, cool. Tom?
Oh, you skipping Marcus? Don't you do the big...
No. Guess first. Marcus is a co-host.
Oh, he's a co-host. Oh, see, I've never been one of those before. Okay, all right.
I'm assistant
goes nudging himself in there again.
Yeah, for me, it's like Roy. It's like I've had jobs, like real jobs, and I've done what I'm doing for myself for other people, to the point where I elevated their business 20, 30 times what they were doing. And what did I get for that? I got 8 years of building something for them, only to get tossed out the side when they thought they didn't need me anymore. So that was the moment for me where it was like, because I had already started kind of writing comics to do it purposely on the side. And so that was kind of my moment in time where it was like, well, before I go to Walmart and, start stocking shelves, what can I do with what I have here? And so we kind of dove into that at that moment. And it started to work, and that's it. Here I am 14 years later doing that. So, I could quit today and, get some job doing similar things for a company, a corporation, small business, whatever, and do these things for them. But why am I doing it for them? That's where it all comes back to me. It's like, if I can do it for them, I can do it for myself. And I might not be as efficient because, like we just talked about, because I do every fucking thing for myself, but it might not be efficient. But at the end of the day, I'm not putting beans on the shelf. I'm not digging ditches. I'm not lubing cars. I get to be at home. I get to create things. That's the thing for me is I've always been artistic. I was drawing or writing or doing something artistic like through my whole life. So the fact that it all kind of, the funny part is that I basically borderline failed all my English classes, and now I'm a writer. Like, figure that out. But that's the cool part, is it's like I sort of, all the dominoes fell properly for me to get to a point where I'm able to live a creative life, versus working at the post office or whatever it is.
Thank you for hitting my direct marker. Thank you. 20 years perpetuating the mundane at the post office, but through that, I understand shipping logistics. So it's not like it was a total loss.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like, for me, it's like having a job working for somebody else isn't problematic, but it can become problematic, like, because there's no loyalty either way anymore in companies. Like, it's zero. They'll eliminate you for AI tomorrow if they can do it. You know what I mean? So, that one of the most ironic things I ever saw, where there was a newspaper article back towards COVID era, where they published an article and a graphic about the most useless sort of jobs that you could potentially have in America. And at the top of the list was graphic designer. Oh. And I was like, do we understand what just happened here? You just hired a graphic designer for your article for him to tell you that graphic designer is the number one most useless skill on the planet. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now? It's we live in the dumbest world and the dumbest society, and everything is art. So art is far from the worst thing that you can have as far as an ability or a job or whatever. Everything is art. The house you live in is art. The car you drive in is art. Everything is art. So the fact that I get to live and actually create my own stuff, and there's people that even care, that's wild. And that's why I come back every day.
Oh, cool. Well, the thing with graphic design, I have a buddy who's worked at a number of really big magazines, like Home and Garden. I don't know. Name some big magazines. He's probably worked there.
No such thing as big magazines anymore. They're all dead.
Well, no, back in the day. This was in the 90s.
Playboy. Woohoo.
Yeah, he worked for a little while. Yeah, he did. He said it wasn't that great of a job. He said he did better for himself at Home and Garden.
Okay. Yeah, but there's no boobs at Home and Garden.
No, yes there are. He said yes there are. It's all women. In the office is all women.
Oh, okay. All right.
He said, it was a funny guy. But he says he has seen his career path. He said every year he's seen a reduction in his pay, 10 to 15% every year for the last 10 years. So at one point he was over maybe 150, 160 a year. And now he's down to, like, they're offering him 60, 65. And his job hasn't changed any. It's the same. And it's just crazy. you know, because now they have templates for everything. They have the AI systems they're using. They're using all this stuff that, you know, they just don't need it. Or they just hire a kid out of college and they're like, here, do whatever. And then they bring him in to correct their stuff, you know? And that's what he's doing. So, yeah, it's a little crazy. But Marcus, what are your thoughts? Oh, I'm sorry, Roy, what were you going to say?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to jump in on this. So like many moons ago, I actually was a graphic designer for both Kinko's as well as the Office Max spaces. And I worked for a couple of magazines, and you hit it. It's like the issue is nowadays, everything has a template. I mean, Canva is changing. Like I've got people who have been using Photoshop with me for years who are now like, oh, we do it all in Canva. I'm like, screw Canva, you know. I'm like, I go back to Cork Express, so I'm sticking with Photoshop, and you know. But it's nobody's using the stuff, and it's crazy to see what they want to do with graphic designers. That was actually my job at Kinko's, is what pushed me to start doing all the graphic design work again for my own comic books and for other people's books, because they were charging vendors like $55 an hour to come in for my work that they were paying me $12.50 for. I was like, we've got a problem. Not going to continue.
Yep. Yeah. I worked for Kinko's for a number of years, so yes, I know.
Yep. Nobody uses Corel Draw anymore?
Wow. Marcus, you're up for the question. Don't even pay attention to Jay.
I still got my CD copy of it. What are you talking about?
I used to be a graphic designer too, so yeah, all that goes. I definitely ain't in that career field anymore. Let me tell you. Let me tell you that much. But now I'm blanking on the question. I think probably because I've been blinking in and out. I might have missed the.
So Jay, ask the question again.
I don't fucking remember. Rewind the tape.
Oh, why do we keep coming back? Why do we keep doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy one for me, because when I decided to get into this crazy little circus, even when I was younger, but when I seriously dedicated myself to doing it a few years ago, I was hoping maybe I'd do my book. You know, I have it be a modest, little success on Kickstarter, or maybe have a publisher for it, do a few cons, look forward to doing the next thing. But I didn't have any real expectations of this being a thing. And if all I would have done was achieve those things that I had in my mind at that point, it would have been a win for me. It would have been success. It would have been enough for me to continue doing it. So now when I look back, the year that we just had, and I'm like, shit, how many thousands of books? Ed Doringo's representing one of our books to get nominated. We're launching, I think, probably close to 5 or 6 new titles this year. Nice. Probably coming close to 20 titles for Odyssey finishing off. I've already won far beyond any of the expectations I already had for it. So this is all bonus.
Do you sleep?
Yeah.
About 5-6 hours a night. Yeah, a little bit. But I'm also very efficient with my time. I don't have any wasted motion. If I'm getting up, if I'm pressing the button, it is moving.
My man. They do it.
Yeah, whether it's for life, whether it's for my career, or whether it's for comics, everything. I'm not just wasting time, having conversations I don't need to have, or focus on things that take my attention away. I don't play video games much anymore or anything like that. I try to make sure I take my time and relax, but I'm always doing it, and a lot of it comes down to the compulsion. I'm an artist. I've been drawn since I was able to hold a pencil in my hand. If it wasn't comics, I'd be doing fine art. If it wasn't fine art, I'd probably be like trying to make movies or something like that, or screenwriting. Like, I'm going to do something creative. And comics is the one thing where if I didn't have, any team members or anything like that, I can draw. I can do it by myself. Take away computers. I can draw on paper. I can ink it. I can color it. I can staple them all together if I had to. Like, I can make comics 100% on my own. And unlike, the career and the business where I'm just selling products to people and everything's just numbers to me and margins and metrics, being able to do something, share it, take it to the con, have someone come up to you, say, hey, Marcus, how you doing? What new stuff you got? I really like this. I enjoyed that. Like, there's a reciprocation going on beyond just the absolute dreadful monotony of consumerism going on, and with every business aspect on. So it's uniquely different in that way because you get to have a little bit of the creative aspects, even if you're just purely doing publishing and not involved in anything at all. And you also have the business aspects of it and the collaboration and everything like that. And that's where I really get my mojo from. That's why we do so much, is because I enjoy doing it. That's not just part of business, but it's my hobby. Like, I love helping people develop their ideas. I love looking over scripts and making notes and things like that. I'm a psychopath when it comes to development comics. Like, I can't get enough of it. Even I do a lot of stuff with people we don't publish. Stuff that I'm not sure if there's going to be ever a path forward with, but I do it because I think the person who's reaching out to me has something to grow from it and has something that they can develop and be successful. And if I can impart anything to them and help them along in that process, then I tend to do it. So really, when it comes down to it, it's just what I enjoy, even if it wasn't bringing in success and campaigns were failing and this and that. I keep coming back. I don't know any better.
Nice. That's fair. All right. So for my part, I'm kind of like Jay. I got a day job, right? It's not so much that I hate it, but I don't. It's a big fat whatever. It's a place I show up to. I do it well, and my team likes me. I like them. But if the building burns down tomorrow, as long as there's no people in it, I'm good. But but comics is my. What happened? Did I freeze?
Nope.
For a second, just for a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was like, but comics is something I've been doing probably since I was like 12, right? I've been ramping up and doing it that long. I started self-publishing when I was 18, 19 years old. I put together a crew, been self-publishing since 92. Worked professionally for a short while in the 90s for 2 or 3 years. And I mean, it's something that now is just my very expensive hobby. And it's something that I enjoy. So it's like Roy said, it's not work to me. I could sit down at the computer for hours, letter, or write or edit or do any of those things. I'm back and forth on the subway and I'm writing. I'm writing every morning, every evening. I'm coming home, I'm writing, and then I come home and I letter, or I edit, or I'm dealing with artists, or I'm doing something, corresponding with the books. So it's like, for me, it's just all fun. I don't golf, right? I don't, play pool. I sure as hell stopped playing video games a long time ago. So it's like, so it's comic books is what I do. So it's,
You see that, Jay? No one plays video games. No more video game questions.
They're coming. They're coming, baby. They're coming. They're gonna be folded in.
Like Frogger. Nobody knows it.
And just so everybody knows, right? Full disclosure, this is coming from the guy who had a video game theme montage on his live.
And it was all the old games. There was nothing new.
It was.
Here you go. and here, I'll play one of Daphne's favorite clips.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
Why did you clip Forrest Gump?
That's it. No, it's good.
What are you talking about?
I know, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't look like he was acting there. He looked, it's very special. So, all right, like all of us, comic books have been in my life. Always. My dad is the one that introduced me to comic books before he passed away. My mom kept me reading comic books because I wasn't reading books, right? And as long as I was reading something, she was happy about it. Then it was twofold because it also kept me from the streets, being a knucklehead, in Brooklyn, in New York in the 80s. My wife loves traveling with me to conventions. So that's it with comic books. It's always been part of my life. And this is going to sound weird. I do comic books. It's definitely not for the money. I'm not making the money, right? But try not to die my second death, right? The first death is when you pass away. The second death is when somebody speaks your name for the last time, right? And I don't know, man. With the books that I've made, my name is always going to be in the credits. So if somebody picks up a Shield of the Interceptor or anything else that has been done from Unstoppable Comics, my name's still going to be part of that. And it sounds weird, but that means something, for me at least. And if I'm not going to do it for the money, but I'm still going to be doing it for something, it might as well be it for that, right? To keep my name going after I'm gone. I remember doing a convention in Puerto Rico, and I've been doing quite a few. It was very early on, and I wouldn't sign my name on any books. I wouldn't. I don't know. I didn't feel I was worthy enough to do that, right? I would joke, and I would tell people, "Oh, it devalues the book if I do it." But then I'm doing the show, and I'm with my cousin, and he tells me about my grandfather, who barely had a 4th grade education, right? Lived up in the mountains, and social media was nothing, right? He barely had a phone up there. But he tells me, Grandpa would have killed to see his name, our family name, being signed on all of these books. So whenever somebody asks me to sign a book, I'm not signing it out of vanity. I'm signing it because in the back of my head, it's keeping my grandfather's name alive, and I'll just continue that. Try to keep from dying my second death.
Legacy is important. I know. I feel the same way.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. And I mean, and is, and all of us have just a little critter left in us, right?
That's a hell of a segue. I come on with this emotional moment. You're like, hey, remember the 1980s horror movie? And then you bring up
So, Tom, do you want me? Should I play the video?
Yeah, you can. It's only like 50 seconds. Sure. Okay.
Give me a sec.
Remember what we said about producers.
What was the audio going through on that?
Oh, trust me, it's real. It's terrible.
There was voiceover with that?
No. Just music.
No, yeah, just music. Yeah. All right, so Tom, you're up, sir.
Yeah, we got, what do we got here? 8:20. So we got 3 hours and 20 minutes left, guys. This is The Return of Critter. This is the first book I ever started writing way back in the day. It was released 14 years ago when we started this whole Big Dog Ink thing. Penny for Your Soul and Critter came out in the same year. This is issue 22. That's the primary thing we're funding. But we also have the first collected volume 5 as a trade paperback as well. So there's multiple new things in the campaign. I'm working with Omar and Hedwin Zaldivar on the art, which you're about to see a couple of pages there that you can see what they're doing. That looks amazing. The art is all finished. Hedwin's just doing the colors. We'll have the colors finished in February, and then we'll be off to print. And the goal is to have everything in hand and shipping to you all sometime in April as the next campaign gets started. So should be pretty easy. Everything's on track to hit those marks right now. We got a number of variant covers if you like the fancy variant covers. All the prices you see, that's your price. It's not $25 plus $8 more. That's just your price, including your shipping. Bill McKay, Carl Liversidge, Jose Luis, Karima Art, M.R. Gunn, Narcelio Sousa, Jason Hayher, all kinds of great artists, Brian Peterson as well. So all kinds of different stuff. So there's Iron Butterfly. We're giving some of our villains some covers now as well. That'll continue on as we go down the line. The Doghouse Team Up, that'll be the first of a series of team up covers that we do as well. So that's the first time we've done one of those. And all of our Patreon folks will get to vote on who Critter teams up with on the next cover. There's the new trade paperback with CB Zane new art with the bad guys on it. And then this was a Britney Spears celebration that we did. So on January 12th, it was the 25th anniversary of her first album dropping. So we did a little homage to her with our character called Britney Ears. That's Brian Peterson and Sanju Nivengoon. We do have some of the toys left. So if you did not get in on the toys, we have action figures available. Classic Blue and Modern Blue are both available. Some metal trading cards if you're into the fancy stuff. A couple of different sets. And then this is kind of where you get your combos. If you just want to try the book out, we got you covered. The last 2 issues right there for you. Paradox Paradigm is digital only. These were one-shots that we did a number of years ago to expand the Critterverse out. But that's a digital only pack. Available for the first time. You want to dive into the whole series, we got you covered. If you just need a few pieces of it, you can just pick the pieces out that you need to. I know some people have bought Critter #1 so they can get 2, 3, and 4 individually and so on. Mystery boxes are about 2/3 gone now. And if you like just all the new variants, we have a discounted all-in package. You get all 9 variants plus the Britney Ears tribute cover plus the Critter acrylic figure, all at a discounted rate. And again, $200. That includes your shipping as well. All the covers can be turned into foil or metal, whichever ones you like in whatever fancy format you like. Again, same thing, $75. That's it. That includes your shipping, the whole thing. And then we just have some other Big Dog Ink Universe stuff. You can get other trade paperbacks, other single issues. You can get like all 3 of the Goth Day books. If you're new to Big Dog Ink in general, you can kind of dive into some of these other things. Or if you know Big Dog Ink but you haven't tried some of this stuff, we got you on the back issue aspect, including the preview books for the new series that are coming. It's only an island if you look at it from the water. That'll be our shark book that gets released next year. And then we have Sand and Scales, which is the preview of our Fantasy Gladiator series. And that's that. We got 3 hours and 20 minutes to go. If we should happen to make it to 20,000, which we're only $300 away, if we make it to 20,000, we'll have another stretch goal unlocked. There's 5 stretch goals unlocked already. There's magnets and trading cards, and there's a bonus pinup by Ryan Kincaid that gets added inside the book. So there's all your stretch goals there. We will have another one at 20,000 if we should manage to scrape by and get there. I think we're only like 15 away from, we're 11 away now. 11 away from 300 backers. So we'll probably get to that point as well. So this has been a crazy campaign, man. It's been really great. It's gone well beyond the expectations, and we're going to be able to fulfill this really quickly and get into the next issue. The next issue is already done as well. The art is already done. So as soon as Hedwin's done with colors on this, he'll start coloring that one, and we'll be able to fulfill that one super fast as well. So again, infrastructure, right? Get this shit done. So I'm excited to finally kind of have the ball rolling properly for the first time in a long time.
Nice. Well, listen, so you're doing well.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Yeah.
He's got to pay taxes on that lake, bro. He needs to do one.
This is true.
So while he's getting the next one up.
That's all right. I got you. Because you know what? I have your fall. Right here.
Oh, that's a better segue. It's a better segue. Okay.
There you go. Aaron, so this is yours, right?
That's mine.
There you go. So do you want me to play this video?
Yeah, sure.
Of your enemies. This has been a story that I've wanted to tell for a really long time. Be brave and upright, be lovely. Exploring that fracture of faith when you're pushed too far in the name of God. Speak the truth even if it leads to your death. What happens at that point? Safeguard the helpless who do no wrong.
Nice.
All right.
Great.
Cool.
Well, I gave you the statistic for it. So we're 98% funded. I don't have to look that up. Yeah, $47 away. Still 9 days, pretty much 9 full days. I think 8 o'clock or a little bit after is when it rolled over. So 9 days to go. This is at the other end of the spectrum. This is not multiple issues in. This is a first issue. So new series that was started with Joe DeSantos, who worked with me on Tilt 1, 2, 3, and 4. And colorist Lois Lackey. This is going to be like her first kind of published book, and we gave her a limited Japanese color palette, and she's just freaking ridiculous. And then Van Claridge doing the lettering, and I believe this is going to be his first kind of, special release as well. So pretty excited about the team and this book coming together. It is about a Templar knight who goes AWOL, ends up in feudal Japan, and has to save a province from a ruthless leader. So it's a lot of fun. I had some fun putting together some basic packages this time. I was going to keep it super basic, and then people really wanted to have other things like a sake mug and like a metal print. So I added those in as add-ons, which kind of kept me going on this campaign. It was fun to just, when I felt like freshening something up, just throw a new add-on in there. But I'm really impressed with the support that we've gotten on this. I legitimately had no idea how it was going to go. This is a kind of a different thing than anything that I've put out before. Most of what I put out is superhero stuff, and then I have like a spy thriller, and then like a little bit of a dark fantasy story. So going this direction and telling a story about a dude running away from a Templar order and ending up in feudal Japan is pretty different, and it is very grounded. It feels very humanistic. So I'm excited to get this into people's hands.
Nice.
So there's a first issue. It's a limited series. How many issues do you expect it to run?
Yeah, so right now the plan is for 5 issues.
Cool. And what type of release schedule are you looking at?
Well, that's kind of what we're playing with right now, because some other things on the backside are kind of developing. We're deciding if we want to do 5 individual issues, or if we want to do this first issue and then flip it into a full graphic novel. So hopefully I'll get some clarity on that in the next couple of days, so I can announce what we're going to do going forward.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Nice. Nice. I mean, listen, you're you said 98% there? $47, you're there. I mean, you're obviously, you're definitely going to make it, so I mean, nice. I mean, and this is how many campaigns have you done before this?
Well,
this is my 9th, so I've done 8 other ones.
All right, cool.
Let me ask you, you got a retailer tier on there.
Yeah.
How do you market that? How do you push that out? How do you let
awfully? I didn't want to have a tier. I'll put it this way: I didn't want to have a retailer tier. And then like the one guy that always wants a retailer tier from us commented on one of my posts and said, "Where the heck is the retailer tier?" So I messaged him and I was like, "Tell me what you want and at what price point." And so he told me, and I put that one on there. And then I did a second one that I thought was better. He ended up going with the second one that was a little bit better. And I made a joke on my post about it. I was like, I named the tiers John the retailer because John's the guy's name, and he's the only one that ever gets a retailer tier from us. And then within 5 minutes, another retailer did it, and I was like, well, crap. So, but yeah, marketing wise, yeah, I'm not good at marketing. I don't pretend to be. It was just a shot in the dark, and the second one, those two retailers seem to like. So
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So 2 people popped for your 2 retailers popped. Are you going to be going to the stores, do a signing, or do something with them, or no?
So there's probably going to be a third. That one will have an in-person signing. In Case Comics, though, they're in LA, so it's a little bit too far away for me. I'm on the East Coast. So, and then the other store, I don't know them. I split my life between Pennsylvania and North Carolina.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
You can hire me, and I'll show up on your behalf.
Okay.
I'll wear a toupee. Nobody will know the difference.
That's right. You have a beard. That's all that matters, right?
Yep. Nice. All right, cool, man. I mean, like I said, you're well on your way. I mean, you got 9 days. You got plenty of time. You're going to do fine.
I feel good about it. But thanks. It's nice to hear.
Why do I do comics? Not smart enough for an engineer, not dumb enough for graphic design. The doodles for money are quite good. Way to be.
Nice.
There we go.
You,
Segues and independent comics are what I'm here for. Damn right, Michael. And Calderon needs to do a better job on his segues.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you were good. You were doing well. But then that critter segue, it was just like it knocked you down a few pegs in my mind, bro.
I don't know. I mean, you're from an urban neighborhood, right? So right. So here we go.
Hey, the NerdCon. Way to be.
So Roy, I mean, what are we looking at? I was really interested in this when you first contacted me. I was like, oh, this looks cool.
All right, so the Urban NerdCon it's more of a fantasy, man. This is the thing that I wanted to see growing up. We hear a lot about things. I'm 53 now, and growing up being a nerd in the urban setting wasn't always the most popular thing. I actually was kind of lucky because I was also an athlete, so I didn't get picked on like a lot of my friends did and different things. But the issue was going out to cons and getting engaged in those events. I really didn't see many people who looked like me, not just in the sense of the guests and attendees, but also just really the characters. I mean, come on, we all grew up. There was always like the 1 or 2 black characters in a show. If it's horror or anything, of course, those dudes died first, and we just figured that there had to be more, and starting getting engaged with a lot of different things. That kind of was how I got into my comic book company as well, and this all just kind of grew out of that, just wanting to create a space. And our tagline is our heroes, our villains, our stories, but everyone's con. I'm sure that most people can agree. One of the things that's happening in the comics and in the movie situation now is everybody's absolutely tired of the laziness of DC and Marvel and just changing traditional characters to different people, different races, different sexes and things, instead of actually developing new characters. And there are like so many great and amazing characters out there and some great stories that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to see. So we wanted to create this con that could highlight the new creators and people of African descent primarily who are creating these amazing stories, and then the celebrities who are, who have been in this thing for years. I know as you were traveling down the page, you actually were passing by some of them, and we've got some great folks, man, who are coming in. It's like, how many of you are familiar with the Underworld series with the Lycans and the vampires?
Yeah,
well, Kevin
Greaves.
Yeah, Kevin Greaves. He's. I mean, this guy is like, he was in the movie, and it's like, oh, he wrote this. You know, I'm an HBCU guy. I went to Florida A&M. He's a Howard guy. You know, we got all this stuff in common. And then, you know, you look at next right over here, Phil and Iona Morris. You know, their dad was in the original, Mission Impossible. They have been all over the Star Wars stuff with us, man. And it is like so cool that to get engaged with them. China McCoy, that you're seeing who's on there now, he actually was the body double for Lawrence Fishburne in the original Matrix 2 movies. He's a martial artist, and he is like flipping amazing. And it's just like, you know, all of these people that you don't get a chance to see. And, you know, I hadn't been to any cons since before last year, and probably about 20 years, because I was the last cons I was going as a vendor. At the time, I was at the cons that we were at MegaCon in Orlando. We actually did the first two. Year one, I was the only Black comic creator there. Year two, I think there was 2 other guys that were there. But, you know, it's like you don't really see a lot of that in the mainstream spaces. And so we wanted to create that space so that everybody could come. You know, we wanted everyone to come out, no matter what your race, your ethnicity is, what your choices in life are. We didn't care. Just come out and see some great stuff and enjoy yourself and enjoy the fandom. You know, be able to be who you are as a fan inside of all of that stuff. And, you know, that's what we're looking forward to. So this was, again, about love and just wanting to create that different space.
I get it. I ran a convention here in Brooklyn for a while. The last one I ran was the January before the pandemic shut everything down. So the weekend that Kobe Bryant passed away, I was running a convention here in New York. We had 175 vendors. It was a 24,000 square feet facility. So I understand the logistics. You've been putting this together for about a year, right?
So this one is actually our second one. We did the first one in 2022. Nice. Yeah, officially. So we did the very first official one in 2022 down in Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
As a first con, it was everybody was like, "Oh, it's the best first con first year con that I've ever been to." I wasn't as happy with the numbers, which is one of the reasons that we moved to Atlanta. Okay. So we, brought it to what a lot of Black folks call Atlanta Wakanda anyway. So it's like, hey, why not? Come on, make your trip on down. Let's have some fun.
How much are your exhibitor tables?
Well, we're actually sold out. So we postponed the event from last year. Yeah, we had sold out. We've got like over 70 vendors that are already in. We may have a few spaces left. We're finalizing that information, but we had sold out. We think our biggest thing is our badges. For an entire weekend, it's $50. And right now we're actually running a BOGO sale. Mm-hmm. So, and we're going to do some things different. We're going to have the 10 to 6, the family friendly stuff with all of our vendors and our vendor hall and all of the different panels and things that we go to. They'll be kid friendly. Then we shut down, and then at 7 p.m. we open back up for some real adult fun, some gaming, some cosplay stuff. Because we actually we're at the Cortland Grand Hotel. We have the entire bottom floor of the hotel.
Very cool.
So we don't have to worry about people in their rooms and being disturbing folks. It's downtown Atlanta, man. It's going to be great.
Nice. Let me ask, the badges that you're doing, are they badges or are they wristbands?
No. We will be doing badges.
All right, good. Because, there are folks out there, they collect the badges to their cons. And, those are still sponsorships you can sell. That's a way to, to cover your overhead. And people forget about stuff like that. So good luck, man. Good luck. You got a hell of a show going, man. You're packed. You're packed, man.
Yeah. Looks awesome. I wish you were in New York.
Oh, wait, there we go. Can I mention one other thing?
Go ahead.
So the biggest thing for us, or for me, and I didn't realize that this wasn't a thing at other cons. So we have this thing that we're doing called donating con bucks. And what that is that we're asking people to donate donate badges. They're $25 for kids, the Young Nerd badges. Yep, that's it there. And what we're doing is we're giving those away to schools and local youth groups for kids who can't afford it. I was also one of those kids who I had to make a choice whenever we went on field trips. It's like either eat lunch or buy something cool, and so when I created the con, I did not want kids to have that option. I didn't want to have to make them make that choice. So again, the badges are $25 for the weekend. Out of that badge, though, every kid gets $10 to spend in con bucks at the event.
Nice.
And they spend just like regular cash. We had over 600 that were donated the first year. We're hoping to be able to do like 3,000 because Montgomery is not the size of Atlanta.
That's
nice,
something
that we're doing. So that was the big thing for me because, like I said, I know what it's like, and being that kid and seeing how that feels. I
like that. That is really cool, man. It's giving them safe space. It's introducing them to the world that maybe could have been cost prohibitive for them to get to in the first place. So that's a great way to go about this, Roy.
Yeah, man.
I'm starting to have the Marcus issues in my internet keeps doing something.
I thought we were about to pause for our sponsor.
Can we play our commercial?
Yeah.
The video?
Yeah. Hold on.
It's time for the 2024 Urban NerdCon. Join us in Atlanta, Georgia, April 26th through 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel. Special guests include Underworld creator Kevin Grievous, Gary Gray from Fairly Odd Parents, from Nickelodeon, Giovanni Samuels, The Science Machine, Michael Green, The Sci-Fi Sisters, and from Spaceballs and Star Trek Voyager, Tim Russ.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Tim Russ. Join me April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia for the Urban NerdCon. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone come. I'll see you there. Live long and prosper.
Visit theurbannerdcon.net to get your buy one, get one free badges before the price increases. Remember, our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
That's cool, man. Cool.
He actually has a band. He's bringing his band with him.
Nice.
So we can see Vulcans rocking out. Like, how cool is that gonna be?
Nice. How many of your guests are you flying in? Or how many are local?
Oh God. Yeah. So right now, and this is not including all of our legacy guests, we've got about 25 guests. We've only got like 4 local ones.
Oh my!
These are folks that are coming. Yeah, this is right now for what we've been able to gather. This is the most Black celebrities at a con ever.
Nice.
And we'll actually end up, and we say Black and brown. So there are a lot of people. We got several Hispanic guests that are coming in as well. Just folks from the diaspora, but it's like these are faces that when you see them, you're going to be like, hey, I remember that guy. Hey, I remember that guy. Tim Daphne Reed, the Fresh Prince, Sister, WKRP in Cincinnati. I don't know how many of you old enough to remember that one.
Of course.
But, these folks, man, who have been around and have been out there and been on these different shows. Phil Morris was on Smallville. He played the Martian Manhunter in the DC thing. I mean, these folks who have been around. This is good. We're excited, man. We're really excited to have this thing happen, and just hoping that people will, like we said, will buy the badges, but donate the badges for the kids is really the big thing. Horror fans, Jeffrey Reddick, he's the guy who did Final Destination. He's going to be there. So, yeah,
nice.
We have actually one of the things that I'm really excited. I hadn't put her on the front page yet. She's on our main guest page, but I call her a young lady, Miss Trina Parks. She was actually Thumper in Diamonds Are Forever. She was the first Black Bond girl.
Oh wow!
That was back with Sean Connery. She was a dancer with the Alvin Ailey dance troupe. I mean, like, these are the people that who are iconic in this situation. One of the things that we're also doing is that we're going to be naming an award after Nichelle Nichols, our Trailblazer Award, because Nichelle Nichols' character as Uhura was the gateway for so many kids who look like me into the whole sci-fi genre and everything. The irony of that is that she actually passed away the weekend of our first con. So that's the Saturday of the con. She was actually is when she passed away in 2022.
Damn.
Yeah.
But man, I wish you well on the show, man. I know how hard it is to put something like this together, and you got a 3-day show, so it's all day on Friday or half a day on Friday.
No, we'll open at 10. So Friday's going to be our education day, and that's one of the reasons we're trying to get the badges donated. We want to give them out to schools and bring the kids so that they can bring the kids out for field trips to get the opportunity to be at the con on that Friday. So the goal is to actually have that. Yeah, our vendors can come in Thursday night and set up, and then early Friday morning. But we're hoping that they're all open by 10 o'clock. We will be moving in at that point. So.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, it looks incredible. You have to do a show in New York, so we can go.
Well, we're working on that. But hey, listen, you guys have a podcast, man. It's like you guys can come down. One of the things, again, my primary business is live broadcasting and live streaming. So we're going to actually have a space on the main floor of our con where people who have podcasts will be able to come and broadcast live from the con.
That's cool.
Like you can schedule everybody. You can schedule a 90-minute block and just come in and say, "Hey, my podcast is going to be on. We're going to come in. We're going to have fun and get to see all the people and talk to whoever you want to, and do it live at the main on our main area."
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
cool.
awesome.
You set up a little mini stage for that, or it's just a cordon off spot?
No, it'll be a stage. It'll be an elevated stage so that we make sure that everybody sees it. We want people noticed there.
Nice.
Right.
Very cool.
Nice.
That's really cool. Yeah, man, that's incredible, man. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But we have to now we have to get onto some Well, I'm sorry, Marcus, but Phantasmic. I mean, it's a great title, but it's kind of hard. It doesn't roll off.
You got nothing.
I had nothing for that one. Sorry, I tried. But Marcus, it looks great. So what do we got?
Yeah, we've got our first new title of the year and our first campaign of 2024. This is Phantasmic, sci-fi horror comic coming from writer Jeffrey Matuza. Follows the story of Kit. She is a comic book artist who becomes haunted by her own creations and also uncovers the truth to power within her and how it's connected to the mysterious disappearance of her father years ago. We launched last week, so we're coming up on, I think, day 5 of the campaign right now.
Oh, so you did a show in 21 days?
Yep, short one, 21 days. We had a very aggressive pre-launch period for this. It was one of those times where we were marketing really hard because we know the campaign was going to be a little bit shorter. We're probably going to be sort of permanently switching to 21-day campaigns for all of them. The last one actually was, our shortest campaign that we did for Phelan Wood 2 was 21 days as well, and that ended up being a tremendous campaign for us. I think we hit like 450% funding or something like that in that amount of time. So we're seeing that it really does not matter if the days are shorter. If anything, it kind of might work in your benefit a little bit too, especially since customers know that they're going to be, that's the sooner that fulfillment is going to come, that the campaign isn't going on. So they're happy to do it as well. But pretty much rounding out the whole team on the book is we've got some superstar creators on here, man. For the interior art, we got Walt Giovanni from Red Sonja, Witchblade, Lady Death fame. These are the first guys I think Jeffrey reached out to get everything solid and locked down. And then on top of him, we have Arthur Helsley, who's done Thunderbolts, Project Superpowers, you see here. He's a tremendous artist in his own right, and his colors combined with Walter's interior art it's just perfect, man. The book is so beautiful. The art and the pages, the layouts, everything's flawless. But that's what happens when you get veterans together, man. And we got Buddy as letterer. I think a lot of us who are doing comics, we know Buddy. We've seen him around. He does a lot of stuff. Tremendous work as a letterer. And we got Geraldo Borges of Nightwing and Dick Tracy fame. He's doing Dick Tracy with Mad Cave right now. So,
dude, I'm so excited.
Hot. Yeah,
I'm so excited about Dick Tracy.
Really, really excited to have him on the covers, like right at the right time. And he's doing an awesome job too. He's just consummate professional. And for the cover artist, we got superstar Zoo Orzu. A lot of people know her from Black Panther, Wonder Woman, Superman. She also did Grimm, a lot of issues of that, Rogue and Gambit. She did our variant cover C for us and did a fantastic job.
Nice.
Then we got Jacques, who did a lot of work with heavy metal, who did our variant cover B. He absolutely killed it on that too. That's one thing where you have a certain idea in your head for how you want something to be. Then an artist kind of comes back with something else like, this isn't what I wanted, but it's so much better. And when he got done with it and brought it back, I was just like, man, this is one of the coolest covers I've seen us published so far.
Who's this guy?
And then you got this freaking guy. He's everywhere. So I'm chipping in as editor in chief, and I get to actually follow in the footsteps of the great and legendary Ron Mars, who was the initial editor on the project. When Jeff brought it over to Odyssey, I saw the opportunity where we can improve a couple things. So I brought the team back together. We actually added 2 new pages to the book based on some of my notes. So it's all over. It was already a great book, and then we just took the time to make it even better, make it the best it can be and resonate. So right now we got it planned as a 5-issue miniseries, and this is number 1 of 5. Here we see Geraldo's cover. Grab that one, just $8. Then we got Jacques' cover for B. That one's available in normal cover, and we also are going to have that available as hollow foil too.
Cool.
Then we got Zoo Orzu's piece. She knocked it out of the park with this one. This one's available in virgin, hollow foil, and I think we are doing the regular cover for that is available too. We might also make this one maybe the option to have all of them available as metal covers. I'm debating that a little bit, not for any particular reason, but I want to make sure that people are sort of receptive to it and we're just not throwing a whole bunch of stuff, because I'm almost at the limit of what Kickstarter will let you do as far as add-ons go. So I don't want to take the chance to put those up, and that's the problem. They don't tell you how many you can actually have. So if you go and put 3 new add-ons in, that could take 2 of them away. You don't know which one.
It's 100, Marcus. It's 100 add-ons. Yeah, they won't let you do more than 100.
Okay, we're not close to that then. So
good.
Probably
challenge accepted.
Oof, no, thank you.
We got our Phantasmic tee. Those of you who pick up our logo tees and other tees at cons know how nice and high quality we spring for when we get our tees. So that one's gonna be pretty nice. We got them in men's and women's sizes available. Then we have metal prints available of Jacques and Zoo Orzu's covers. And those are, pretty awesome, and they're going to look just glorious in metal. We got a great printer that we work with, and every time that we get the metal prints back, they just look fantastic. I always forget to order extra for myself. I give them away to the to the creators, and then there's nothing left for me, and I got to rectify it this time.
Nice.
All right, and then we still got our giveaway active too. So for the first week of the campaign, we have our Creator Series limited edition comics available. These are something that we started doing last year and that we're going to do with Critical Mass, our anthology too, where the creators get a special version for their comps, usually done in a black or dark matte color so that we can all sign it when we're at the cons. You run across everybody, it comes out real cool. Also has some extras for concept art, development, scripts, things like that from the creators that you won't get in the regular books.
Nice.
And then we decided to open up our vault a little bit, and we got most but not all of our comics available as add-ons, and we're doing those as cheap as we can to make sure that people can jump on into Odyssey if this is their first time and pick up all the other books that we got available too.
Cool.
And I think we hit 100 backers today, so we unlocked our first digital, which is Shield of the Interceptor #1 from Mr. JD Rosario himself.
We'll talk about my little swapping dude dad in the moment.
Well spent.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for us, man. We got a lot we're gonna get out this year. This is number one of probably. It's probably gonna be at least a dozen campaigns this year.
Goddamn.
Knock on wood. We're gonna see how it goes. I think next month we're gonna be running an Indiegogo and a Kickstarter simultaneously. So that's gonna be the true test.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that'll be.
I need you guys help. I need you guys help setting up a Kickstarter. It's like all of you.
That's
are
all me, man. I do
amazing.
all the graphic design, so all the elements and mocks and everything like that. I spend way too much time. Probably more than I really need to design the Kickstarters, making sure they look nice.
Yeah, we need to do one for the young nerd badges. We got some great books. I need some ideas. This stuff is amazing. Like I think I did a half of a Kickstarter and was like really confused and was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So it's like them telling the math person is like, no, dude, the only thing I count is money. So I don't know all that algebra and trigonometry, whatever.
It takes a moment. Once you get your sea legs, you figure out how to do it, right? It's almost addicting too. But I mean, this is a great time to be a comic book creator, right? And a comic book reader. There's so many different platforms where you can push your books or find new books. You know, they're not overcrowded with stores that can't stock anything but the big two books. You know, and if you want to just dip your toe into something different, that's what this is about. That's why Calderon is doing the show, because
and that's why we're bringing stuff like this too, man. It's like we got big two talent, all over the place right here on this book. I think this book is just as good, or if not better, than you're gonna pick up out of the big publishers, and we got the talent on the book to back it up. So I hope people are definitely receptive to that, because they don't come cheap. We're really trying to this is kind of like usually Odyssey always has a focus on emerging creators, people who are really trying to get over that first roadblock in the industry, and we cater to them, and we're always going to. But this is also an opportunity to show that, like, hey, for veteran creators who also want to have stuff out there and get stuff done, Odyssey can be a place for you guys to come and play too, and we just can combine the ethos together. All of our books are really focused on just trying to bring good content, good stories that aren't concerned with marketing in a certain way or doing just 100% unbridled creativity in doing that for its inexpensive and make the process as fun as it can possibly be. And by and large, I don't think we've done a project that I've hated or disliked or anything like that. The entire time we've been publishing, man, everything comes together beautifully. And when you get a project that comes together like this, it just it kind of reaffirms why you're getting into this whole thing.
Damn right it does.
Yeah, it looks awesome, man. I mean, you got 101 backers. You're over 2,000. You got another 50. You got 15 days. You're well on your way.
Yeah, you're definitely fun, bro.
Oh yeah,
good shit. Good shit.
And Marcus is the perennial hustler, so I know you'll.
But I mean, you got chops. 12 campaigns this year, bro. If you had hair, you'd fucking lose it.
Yeah.
I'm using Rogaine right now, so I can regrow my hair, so I can lose it again.
Bro. All right. So here's my bad boy, Shield of the Interceptor.
Do you want me to play this video before you begin?
Play the fucking video, Papa. Let's do it.
Snap is animated.
Shield of the Interceptor focuses on the last knight of Avalon, a modern-day hero who found the lost shield of Avalon and now has anyone who ever searched for it coming for his head. We're looking to raise the money to print up the first issue, which is complete, set, and ready to send to the printer. You can still pick up the first 4 issues and other key moments in this extraordinary story. Just follow the details below, and thank you for supporting this unstoppable project.
Very nice shit.
So this is my book. this is my book, Shield of the Interceptor. Idea behind it is that the shield was supposed to be paired with the sword Excalibur, but it was lost till time. It was lost in time, excuse me. Found by this guy here, David Flynn, a former athlete. And once he found it, every other man who's been looking for it is now gunning for his head. So he's not much of a superhero as much as he is somebody who's trying to protect his neck and wear a mask to protect his loved ones. So we've unlocked 2 stretch goals right now. We're headed towards the third one. We're about 250 away from the third one. The third one has been boosted, so it's not just a trading card involved with the stretch goal. Thank you, Marcus and Odyssey Comics. UB's number 1 will also be attached digitally if we break $2,000. So that's a 32-page full-color comic book. And, it's a cross-promotion. That's one of the things we do. We spread the love, and we're trying to get a little bit of juice going between 2 different campaigns. You can also pick up issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. Issue number 4, I forgot to mention, the cover for issue number 4 was illustrated by Jerry Gaylord, and he did storyboard work for the new X-Men 97 animated series that's coming out for Disney. Issue number 5, it's the cover was done by Francesco Tomaselli, and he's done work for Boom with Power Rangers and covers for Spawn. The preview pages here were illustrated by Andres Barrero. He did issues number 3 and number 4. Here's the creative teams: myself, Andres, Champe, who chimed in a few times in our chat. He did my colors. My wife is doing the letters, and there's Francesco Tomaselli doing our cover. We're only doing 1 cover, but the back of the cover, the rear cover, will have his cover without the title, logo, and other credits associated. So you can display it any which way you want. You don't have to buy another book. We do trading cards. So you see earlier, we unlock trading cards with every stretch goal. And we've built up a nice little trading card set. So you can pick up that set of trading cards if you want to chime in, or just the holochromes, or you can pick them all up together. Then this is our digital catalog. If you are somebody who doesn't have a lot of space, but you want to read the books, this is a great cost-effective measure. I think we have 27, 28 books in the catalog, and 3 digital books, $3 a pop for each digital book. You're saving almost $20 on this set. And then we got our T-shirts, right? Really cost-effective, great margin on it, and it's an awesome way to boost our overall goal numbers. And then there's my risks and challenges. Right, this is my 23rd, 24th campaign. We failed some. I can't say I didn't fail. Hubris, not knowing what you're doing and getting off your game has knocked us off of that seat. So we're not batting 1,000, and that's the cover. That's the cover of the bad boy there. We're only doing 1. No holochromes, no medals. Not saying anything against that. We're going to do that on our next campaign. I just wanted to get back to bare bones, something easy to manage. We all mentioned time before. We all mentioned fulfillment, and laying out the dinner table with the different stacks of different books. Just 1 book. Slap it and pack it. So hopefully my shipping process won't take that much time. So we're funded. Well on our way to the 3rd stretch goal, and rocking and rolling, guys. But there's 2 more weeks left.
All right, very nice. So you have 61 backers, 1749. Yeah, man, you're doing well.
We're doing all right.
Another 13 days, you're doing good.
Yeah, man. Can't knock it.
Can't knock it.
I mean, we're doing a male superhero book with a man of color on the cover. We know what Kickstarter and crowdfunding is. It's cheesecakes. You slap a nice chick on the cover, and you're going to be making some bones. So it's definitely an uphill battle, but that's my flagship character, and that's the story I want to tell. I'm having fun.
I actually didn't notice that you had a cover from Jerry Gaylord. I might have to go back and adjust my pledge.
Yeah, man, I met Jerry years ago. He did 2 covers for me, and then he went big time. It's like, oh, I'm busy, but when I get a chance, I'll come back. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I find out he was working on X-Men. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. I understand why.
At least
he's someone I've watched for years, though. He's become just an amazing artist.
First time I met him after doing covers, we did Wizard World Philly. Him, his wife, and one of his other table mates, and we had a good time just bullshitting with each other at Wizard World Philly because it was a dead show. It was, oh my god, it was such a fucking dead show.
All right, so I'm just putting up my campaign real quick. I got 99 backers. I got 20 hours left. I got $2,400. What's funny is that at 100 backers unlocks a stretch goal, and at 2,500 I unlock a stretch goal. So hopefully next 20 hours I'll pick up a few bucks and I'll pick up an extra backer at least, and we'll hit our stretch goals. And this is one of the stretch goals at 2,500. We're giving out this sticker. It's Oswald celebrating the Year of the Dragon, which is coming up for the Chinese Lunar New Year. Mm-hmm. So that's coming up, and everyone will get one of those. Anyway, the physical backers, first 45 physical backers will be getting, this is an acrylic pin and a coaster. And hold on. And then this image at 100 backers will be a trading card. So it's going along well. This is the Oswald Chronicles. This is I Was There and I Remember. This is a story where Oswald is in Dream, and he's recounting his time in Dream and his adventures there, and how he got in, out, how he became an emperor, got married, had children, and now he's back in the normal world. So there you go.
Nice.
All right. Back to our regular scheduled program. Marcus, you're up. Your question.
Yes, sir. Now, gentlemen, here on this show, we often commiserate and talk about our struggles or our challenges, but I want to flip the script a little bit and talk about our potential. And I want to ask the panel here, how far do you want to take things? Where does ultimate success for you and what you're doing look like in your eyes?
Okay, interesting. Roy, you're up.
Yeah, I want to jump on that one real quick. So, no, for the Urban Nerd Con, man, we want a con that reaches out like Dragon Con here in Atlanta. I mean, Dragon Con is huge, man. It's crazy, and MomoCon has gotten to that kind of level as well. I think they had like 50,000 people, last year, and that's what we want. We want nerds from every different diaspora space or just different race, creed, color coming together and being able to just engage in it and just have so much fun. And like, dude, I am so an Excalibur Knights of the Round Table fan, and to see your story with the black guy as the main character, it's like, oh, I like that one. See, now I'm gonna have to go on Kickstarter and look for that one. So, because that's definitely the type of stuff we're talking about. Just being able to have that what we like to call organic diversity. Just looking at the world and saying, hey, listen, I see all of these different people. Let's make our nerddom that whole thing, just like what we live and what we see. But yeah, Urban Nerd Con, great success for us is 50, 60,000 people hanging out, having a waiting list for VIP badges, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Woo! You got 50, 60K. How many people can this place that you have hold?
Oh man. Well, like I said, we've got the entire bottom floor, and I think that's about. Let's see. Our main hall room is 15,000 square feet. Then we've got 3 ballrooms that are, I want to say, 9,000 square feet each.
Nice.
And then that doesn't include our panel room. Then we got the panel rooms and just other space. If I'm not mistaken, there's over 50,000 square feet of space at least. That's the low end, if I'm not mistaken. That we've got.
You only got 70 exhibitors, 70 vendors in it. You sounds like you got space.
Yeah,
man.
Well, so the thing is that we've got all of it in different areas, but we've got like full blown gaming setups that we're going to be doing. We got some esports things that we're going to be bringing in. Nice. We've got what we call our major our panel room, our big vendor. I'm not vendor room, but big panel rooms. We're expecting several things. Like we've got a Star Trek badge. We've got 3 different track badges, what we call track badges right now. And because we looked at it and realized that we had like 10 different Star Trek people. You know, some of the, to kind of put it in perspective, some of the people that came, if you watch Deep Space Nine,
best one.
We had our guy Sirach Lofton. Yep, Sirach Lofton, who played Jake Sisko. He was at the first one. We're waiting for him to come back. We had a young lady.
You got to get Hawk in there, man. You got to get Avery Brooks, bro.
We're trying to. We can't afford Avery Brooks just yet.
Yeah,
that's expensive. Yeah,
Avery Brooks is expensive.
Was the only one that I watched. I wasn't a Trekkie, but I remember a man called Hawk, and I saw him on Deep Space Nine, and I was like, he needs to go T. And then there you go, season 2.
Oh, listen. Yeah. Right, they had to clear it right, because it's like season 1. You're looking at it, you're like, hey, that's Hawk. Why does he have hair? It's like that. No, you can't do that. He was like the coolest man on television in the mid 80s. You know, so
that's a smooth cat, bro.
That.
You know what I mean? So I didn't grow up watching you know, Shaft, but Avery Brooks, man called Hawk, that was a smooth dude right there, bro.
Yep, he definitely was. So. But yeah, just getting it in. So yeah, we're expecting a big thing, man. Like I said, a lot of fun, a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. So we're utilizing that. Hopefully, going to be utilizing that and getting it in. So
success, 50 to 60,000 people.
Nice. Yeah, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's we want to grow to that. You know, I don't want to take 20 years to do that. You know, that's the thing. So
all right, cool. You know, Tom,
moderate reasonable success, 5,000 to 7,000.
Yeah. Well, that's this year. Next year, you know, 20 to 30, and then we'll keep pushing. You know, Tom. So where are you going to?
I mean, that's all it is growth. That's all we're looking for. Consistent, whatever consistent looks like, but consistent growth. You know, over time. This campaign's been ridiculous, because the last time we did a critter campaign, we did $8,000 in the entire month that we did the campaign. This time we did $8,000 in 3 hours. So, you know, we've grown. You know, Big Dog Inc. is a brand in itself, but then we have so many different titles that everything else is its own sort of brand and has its own sort of audience and so on. So the idea is to kind of take all of these different things and spotlight them to a point where they all start to be equal to each other in some capacity. And we've seen it done multiple times now. I've watched, as we've spotlighted books, I've watched us get better and better as the series goes along, as we're focusing on that book, because people are like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. And so we've leveled up a lot of these books that would be considered like our lower sellers, and they're starting to level up into the more known stratospheres of some of the other things that we do. So that's the goal, is like, let's get everything sort of on equal footing to some capacity. And then, you know, once we kind of find that glass ceiling for it all, figure out a way to pop through that. And you know, if we're averaging 300 to 400 backers on a campaign for whatever we do, we need to start averaging 400 to 500 backers, and then 500 to 600 backers. And how do we do that? How do we slowly, you know, just keep climbing through?
So you'd rather backers than percentages? Or...
Yeah, backers, because backers ultimately is more money. Backers ultimately is more everything. It's more people buying your book. It's more people reading your book or collecting your book, whatever. It's more people talking about your book. So even if all of the new backers, like if I picked up 50 new backers and they were all buying the lowest possible digital tier, right? At minimum, that's 5 new people that are reading the book and potentially could go talk about it. Hey, I bought this critter digital thing and it's really cool and you guys should check it out. So backers is the key, because as you get more backers, it's automatically more money, even if it's not a high percentage jump.
But eventually you want to turn those backers into folks that come back to buy more.
Well, yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah. I mean, hopefully you get 50 backers and then they come back and then they come back. But then as you do the next one, maybe you pick up 10 more, and you do another one, maybe you pick up 10 more. So small incremental growth, as long as you can keep seeing it, you're on the right path. But like I said, there is a glass ceiling where, and we talked about it earlier, it's the ROI on how much effort are you going to put in to break that glass ceiling and get yourself into a truly new set of eyeballs, a different paradigm of comics. When we all talk together, we're all kind of talking to each other's audiences. We all kind of overlap. We're almost an equal Venn diagram, right? But if all of a sudden we go into another show where that audience has no clue who we are, that changes the game for you. Again, if you get 1,000 people on somebody's show to see you and 5 of them come over, well, great. I got 5 new people who are now going to tell that bubble of people, hey, I got this thing from Tom and it ended up being pretty cool, and trickle down effect. So it's consistency and backers within the crowdfunding realm. Of course, we're going back into comic book stores now, so AP is republishing some of our stuff, which will be cool, and we'll see what the result is from that. So again, it's more ROA. It's like, how do you put more eyeballs on who you are and what you do? And so AP is going to help us with that. And for all I know, some of our success could be coming from that already. Even though the books aren't out in stores yet, AP has talked about us. And so the Critter brand kind of got a little pop from them just because we are now, in a parallel situation with them. So that could have been part of the reason we got a pop. And once the books actually hit stores again, and we're actually out in stores, we might see another little pop again. So who knows?
Nice.
All right, Aaron, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so success, I guess, looks like Tom's campaigns. That's, I guess, for on an honest note, like that would be like the next kind of huge step, right? I guess for a lot of us in here, like have a campaign that does that much money, and like that is a huge game changer for what I'm doing. In reality, I just want to die writing stories. That's success to me. The current one, Fall of Night, is the most important to me as a person thing that I'm putting out so far. I know later on in life things might happen and I'll put out another story that's going to be super important, but I do have multiple stories, but this one in particular has the most of me in it and the most of how I feel about certain things. So honestly, by the time I wrap up this series, I'm going to be feeling pretty fulfilled as far as that goes. And then just to make everybody uncomfortable, I really want to help people. I take creators' mental health really seriously. Yeah, and last year I went through divorce and custody battle, worst year of my life, and my fiance's as well, going through similar things. And I realized there weren't really any resources out there. So I came up with a devotional, and it's like a 30-day devotional, and I'm looking forward to putting that out over the next couple of months to help fathers who are going through these things. That to me is success, because I'm getting to help people in one of the hardest times in your life, and I'm hoping that'll be received well.
Way to be on that. Good shit, Aaron.
Yeah,
good
seriously.
shit, dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is, unless you're doing cons, because not even the live stream, you're doing a solitary job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, yeah, you get to Georgia with some of us bullshit on a live stream, right? But sometimes you don't get that payoff until you do a con, and you get that, like Marcus said, right? That first that reciprocation, that first moment where you are introduced to somebody who may have backed your campaign at some point, right? Or may have found you for the first time, and that's why Roy, what you're doing with cons, it's awesome, because we need cons. I know not everybody's into it, right? But sometimes the interaction that you're going to get in doing comic books, sometimes the only place you're going to get it is in a convention, and that does something for your emotional health. It helps you. It may not fill the entire well, right? But at least it won't leave you on empty. And doing what you're doing, that's good shit, man.
All right. So Jay, answer the question.
Oh, okay. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I'm trying not to die the second death, right? That's success. I'll never see it, but what I hopefully get to see is a way to keep the lights on, right? To make sure that I can secure my home, my family, but doing comic books, that's success, right? I'm never gonna make the $100,000 campaigns. I'm never gonna, fucking sit in Boku bucks. But if I can make sure the bills are paid, if I can make sure the team is paid, I can make sure we keep making books and the lights are on, That's a win for me, man. That's a big win for me.
That means you're gonna have to be making some buku bucks.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make some fucking. Or buy a lake. You know what I mean? Or move to one of these places where I could get a house for $60,000. Like, fucking HGTV. Fuck you, you bastard.
I don't know where you're moving to.
Oh my god, I don't know where the fuck.
Not in the States,
bro.
Maybe under a bridge. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
In New York, a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house that was built in 1972 and needs a ton of fucking work will go for $500,000.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, God damn it.
Listen, once you're retired, man, get off the coasts. The more you get into the middle, the cheaper things get.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's nothing in the middle.
No.
Yeah, that's usually the thing. That's what
you don't got Disneyland, you don't got any of that stuff. But you save a shitload of money sitting in the middle of the country, and
Tom, then you can afford to go visit those places.
That's correct.
Right. No, but I've thought about it, because if you're in the middle, then it's easier for me to now do West Coast shows.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I drive. I've driven from here all the way down to Texas. Right? That's 27 hours to do a convention.
Listen, if you were to live, for example, if you were to live in Indiana, right? Just to pick Indiana, 4 hours in any direction, you're crossing like 6 states. I mean, you can really do some damage as far as traveling to conventions and stuff. And in the Midwest, there are conventions like literally every weekend somewhere. If you really wanted to do it, I mean, you could really, really blanket, a lot of space.
That's and doing the indie rock band convention tour for comics it's a pretty decent business model. It's a great way to supplement your income on weekends, guys.
Yeah, I gotta get JM in here. JM DeSantis is a friend of ours who, I think last year he did 32 shows, all within pretty much the tri-state area, right? He pretty much the tri-state. I think he might have gone as high as Boston. He might have gone up as high as Mass. And gone down. I don't know if he went down to Maine. No, I mean Maryland.
He just did one this weekend.
Yeah. I think he's doing what I think he set up for another 24 already, and he says he's just starting the list. So
that's a road warrior, man.
Seriously, that dude is nuts. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's out there. He's hustling. And
Atlanta's only a 14-hour drive from New York.
Yeah, that's all. Right. I don't know. I mean,
listen, we'll make space for you guys for the show. We'll give you all a little section. Post your books up.
Calderon, you see.
But listen, post your books up, and then we get you on the stage so that you can do a live show.
Look at
hey, we're ready, man. You guys just let me know. We got you.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. As far as success is concerned, I mean, it's interesting because it's just like, I have plans for later on for this year. I have some definitive plans. I'm going to be approaching some publishers, doing some stuff for the Oswald Chronicles. But it's like, what does success really mean? I mean, for me, success is completing the series. It's like I said, I'm probably 2,000 pages into it at this point. And I got maybe another 1,800 pages to go. So it's like completing the series and having a nice, or maybe a couple of nice fat omnibuses. For me, that's success. Now, me selling a couple 100,000 of those omnibuses is really the true goal. But, that's, we have to see about that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Marcus. Answer your own questions.
Answer my own question.
Yes, sir. You brought it up.
Me, I'm a person, I don't know whether this is how I was raised, coming from, the mud of Chicago. And I think, when I was growing up, my mom always told me that I was stillborn, actually, when I was birthed.
Oh, shit.
I had to be resuscitated and brought back to life. So in my mind, I've never taken anything for granted, and I also don't have any expectations ever. about anything. So whenever I want to do something, I'm only usually thinking about what's in front of me. And now, thanks for the publishing game, I get a little bit further down the line. I think in terms of 2025 and what we're doing beyond, because that's where we're planning for right now. But it's always just like do the next thing and make that your thing. But as I'm in the comics industry and the comics industry as a whole, I also see opportunities and things that I might want to do or might want to change. That was the whole reason I even created Odyssey, because I knew one of the major issues was for creators who have the talent, getting the support, getting the publishing partner, the person to do the Kickstarters and do the fulfillment, and have the opportunities to be able to do that. My personal commitment is to keep Odyssey small, and that's why the success thing gets hard for me, because I want us to be successful in the way that we continue being able to do what we do and continue to be a place where people can get opportunities. But I don't care about something becoming a Netflix movie. I don't care about, selling 1 million comics in shops or anything like that. I just want to make sure we can deliver on what our promise is. And we're even doing additional things, like we're creating Critical Mass as a spinoff of Odyssey Comics this year. We're going to have our first title for that imprint coming out next month. Just because I saw from how Odyssey is going and where we're at, it's like, okay, I can't put the resources in to make X amount of series anymore. I think we're picking up one more series, and then that's all we have realistically have the capacity to be able to do. So I'm like, I can't continue to be open submissions and everything like that and always reviewing, because there's just too much. And I got to understand my limitations as a human being and my limitations that the team has and everything like that.
You could do 2 campaigns a month.
Yeah, it's easy. It's simple. It's easy probably to throw them up, especially being a graphic designer, and I have like scripts that I can run and everything like that. But fulfillment is going to be another thing. But we're going to have critical mass of that, these smaller projects, these one-shots, these things that don't take as much investments, things that are going to be a little bit more risky, and things that we can, make sure that the creativity is sort of boundless. That's going to be the opportunity there. And I was having this thought because I think, I forget which convention I was last year. I think it might have been Comic-Con Revolution nearby in Ontario, where I saw Kevin Eastman. And if anybody's seen Kevin Eastman at the cons, his tables are like, they have lines a mile long. Yeah. And I asked myself, would I ever want that to be my life? I'm sure it's probably good money. It's probably great money, fantastic money. But do I want to put up with that? Do I want to do that? Even if I love my fans thoroughly, which I do. I love everybody who loves Odyssey, but like that, no, I wouldn't want to do that. And even as I travel around and the rate that we're growing now and how much it costs me to, I can't just put stuff in a car and go to a con anymore. It's too much. How do I navigate this? How do I do it? So I know where my personal limitations are in terms of how businessy I want to be, but how much I want to also keep it fun and attainable and breezy, and keep that environment.
If you get to a point where you've got that many people wanting to see you, it all takes care of itself. The cons are paying for you to be there. They're traveling you. You're not doing anything but showing up. So that's a level of success that I think we'd all take, because it really changes the game for us.
Being the ones paid to go to a show, that's a big for sure.
But for me, it's definitely more of the emotional capital, I think, is what it comes down to. Because you're not the master of your own design anymore, and especially if I'm a person who I try to be financially stable, but as much as I can. Like, I don't need comic books to like come in and like supplant that in my life. That's not like the talk down on anyone that does or anything like that. That's just where I am, because I know for me to get to that level, and it may be cool to do it 1 or 2 times, but I know once that like the pressures of dealing with things on that level start to get to me, it's a minute I'll turn off, because I'm surprised I've been doing Odyssey for this long. So I'm always switching gears on what I'm doing in life, especially with creative terms. At some point I'll get bored, and then I don't want to do it anymore, and I move on to the next thing. But I think it's probably just in my professional life, I deal with so much business stuff so fucking much, all the time. I get tired of fucking looking at spreadsheets. I get tired of worrying about, where where our margins are and income and stuff like that. It's just like, I want one thing where I don't have to fucking think about stuff like that. I do, and I am business-like in that regard with Odyssey. It is business now. I don't want to sign up for things past a certain level. And if it comes to that, then I would probably end up being happier to selling things off and finding something more independent to do after that.
All right, that's cool. All right. Now watch, in 2 months he's gonna have a Netflix deal. He'll be like,
Yeah, actually.
I don't know what I was talking about.
I would not turn it away. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
So I don't know what I was talking about that night, but I got the deal. Right?
Well, I think about this stuff a lot because I talk to a lot of creators in a lot of different spheres, and like so many people out there are so pressed these days, and they're like, "Oh man, I really wish I could do this. I really wish I could do this." Like, pause. Like, you just kind of started this thing. You just had a Kickstarter that did, 5-6K. Like, yeah, there's some people out there doing a ton more. But it's like, you're being successful at what you're doing right now. Stop for a minute, breathe, look around at what's happening. Like, you just got dumb shit in your brain, and then you put it on paper, and then you're selling it to people. They're buying it, and they're coming back for more, and they're liking what you do. Like, that's a W across the board, no matter what it happens. So it's like, I think we get so much caught up in a rat race because everybody wants, not everybody, but a lot of people want their thing to be like that next big thing. Like, what's the next major thing coming out of Indy Comics or where they're at in the industry? And it's like, I don't know, kind of cart before the horse. It's like, I think about things in like car racing terms. Speed and winning is a byproduct of doing things the right way at all the other stages. And what you're doing before the race even goes up, what you're doing in the garage, and how you're developing your skills and everything like that. So once you progress in that, the trophies come as a byproduct of the work that you put in. And that's where I want to be. I don't want to be forcing anything just to try to grab that brass ring,
Okay, right. We're gonna wait for that Amazon deal announcement. All right, gentlemen, we made it to hour 2, so thank you so much for being here. You guys are all great. Tom, please let us know where we can find you and your work, sir.
All things Big Dog Inc. Just look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. We picked up another Patreon member today, so if you guys like to kind of watch how the soup is made, that's what we do on Patreon. You get to watch everything happen. You get to take part in some of the creation as well. Lots of little bonuses for our Patreon folks, and we have a little over 2 hours left for Critter. We are now 8 backers away from 300 and $127 away from 20K and the next stretch goal. So we're 7 backers away and $115 away from 20,000 in our next stretch goal. So we're rolling along, and if you're on Facebook and you're watching this and you want something else to do when the game is over, I'll be live tonight doing a little countdown show with some of our artists. So you're welcome to come hang out.
Very cool.
Nice. Aaron, where can they find you and your work, sir?
Yeah. So first I want to congratulate Tom, because that's just freaking ridiculous, man. Anyway, and I won't see him until after. But anyway, so for me, catalystcomicsstudio.com is our website that I need to fix, and I keep forgetting to do it, and I need to talk to the server guy. So it might work right now, it might not. More importantly, Fall of Night's on Kickstarter, so don't worry about the website. Just Fall of Night on Kickstarter is the more important thing. You can find me. I'm trying to be more proactive on TikTok, except for I'm not going to dance. It's not within my being. But that's at Aaron Wright Stuff. And then I also have Substack, aarondowen.substack.com. Like I mentioned earlier, that's where you can find some stuff about like creators' mental health and other ramblings and stuff like that.
All right, cool. Well, you'll see Tom tomorrow morning at Carissa's show.
I was about to say, you'll probably be hearing from me directly after this show.
All right.
Roy, where can we find you and your work, sir?
TheUrbanNerdCon.net. That's it, man. That's what we are on all social media. Also check out, I kind of mentioned it, check out Grumpy Old Nerds. Some guys, we get together, few uncles, a couple of aunties, and we talk about our curmudgeon stuff that we are dealing with the way that DC sucks at everything they do video-wise and movie-wise outside of all their animation stuff, which is great. And it seems like these people can't work together. But we do that kind of stuff and just having this great conversation.
That's on YouTube?
We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and Instagram. I believe we're streaming on Instagram now. But yeah, we're on all the social media, Grumpy Old Nerds. And yeah, just have a lot of fun, man. We get in and just talk. You know, guys are hilarious. Lots of drinking going on, and they're actually the majority of the group is Chicago guys. We've got 3 Chicago guys, a New York guy.
They must be off the absolute keys.
Oh my god! Yeah, they are hilarious, and yeah, one New York guy from Brooklyn, and then one of the aunties from Jersey, and I forget where Amayu's from. I keep forgetting that, but yeah.
Right.
So yeah, theurbannerdcon.net.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Mr. Marcus, where could they find you, sir, and your work?
Yep, just go ahead and check out odysseycomics.com. We just released some big news the other day too. Announcing Slight Return, our next book that we're going to have coming out, courtesy of writer Rob Pilkington and illustrator Heather Vaughn from a number of IDW books such as G.I. Joe. That's work on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, some other things like that. And we'll probably be putting out more news about the next thing coming out next week. Just finished inking that deal, making that final. So
very good.
A lot of news coming out. Stay tuned.
Very good.
All right, cool. Mr. Rosario.
UnstableComics.com. You can find all of my social media links on the website. Find out what's up to date. Find other stuff there as well. But for the next 2 weeks, please check out Kickstarter, where you can find Shield of the Interceptor running and funded, and maybe get some other stuff. Oh, and we do prizes. We have trivia night and stuff like that, and people win extra shit just for backing us.
Trivia.
Yeah, seriously. All right. So my name's JD Calderon. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those different places under JD Calderon. TheOswaldChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com, and most importantly, on Kickstarter, The Oswald Chronicles. So go check it out. Thank you so much. This. All right. Let me put this. That's my sister. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
Yep. So thank you so much, everybody. Just remember, read more indie comics, buy more indie comics, especially ours. Have a great day, guys. Have a good night. Peace.